understand how this could happen. A stroke.
Well, we're not sure yet. No, we're running some tests, and please try not to worry.
I don't know what that means. Please tell me he's going to be all right. Tell me that nothing's going to happen to him. I don't want him to die.
Mama.
Tell me that.
Beryl, I can't.
Please.
Don't ask me to lie to you. We're going to know the full picture in a few hours, I promise you. In the meantime, he's holding on, and he's getting the best possible care.
How could such a thing happen? He left the house tonight. He came to get you. He wanted you to come home.
Beryl.
He was angry and he was upset.
Beryl.
I was in there and he's not able to speak. Something happened when he came to see you. What was it? Tell me, I want to know.
Beryl, when Dave...
Dad, please, I'm talking to my daughter, Nancy.
Okay. I'm going to call my parents.
It's really not necessary. It's so late.
They would want to know.
Go on.
Let's sit down.
Tell me, what happened?
He came to see me at the houseboat, which is where I've been living since I came to New York. Pat and I are living together.
Oh, I see. I thought so.
You did?
He found you together?
Not like that. He walked in and he was angry, but okay. Normal. Then we started to talk and the symptoms came on. I don't know. Mama, I'm sorry. I was wrong not to tell you. We just didn't want to hurt you. Pat and I love each other. We just wanted to be together.
Nancy, I don't want to hear any more. I don't want to hear how much you and Patrick love each other. Whatever you have to say, save it for your father. And just pray that he lives to hear it. You're going to be all right. I promise you. It's a good hospital. They're taking good care of you. You remember how worried we were last year when Nancy was hurt? And look, she's fine. And the same thing will be with you. You're going to be fine, David. Don't worry. Don't worry and don't be afraid. Just rest. The nurse wants you to rest. And get well.
Mrs. Feldman.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Koner.
Patrick, Dr. Ryan says that he thinks it's a stroke.
Well, it's very likely.
You mean you don't know?
We're still running the tests now.
Tell me.
Well, he had a slight headache just before, and his right side is very weak.
He's not paralyzed.
No.
Oh, thank God. The way he was staring.
Well, his sight may be affected, partially. But it's not necessarily permanent. We'll know in a little while.
Thank you very much, Doctor. David, I was just speaking to the doctor, and he said you're going to be all right. He's a very good doctor. I'm a maven. I know. David, look who's here. Nancy. She came to say hello.
Hello, Daddy. I'm sorry. I love you.
see.
I shouldn't be in here. It's not allowed.
No, it's okay.
But they won't know
I
where to
told Miss
find-
Lawrence we'd be up here if anything happened.
Oh, Pat. Oh, I'm so scared. I don't want him to die.
It's gonna be all right.
I love him.
I know, he knows it too.
No.
He does.
After what I did to him.
No.
I did this to him.
No,
Don't.
listen to me. No, you didn't cause the stroke. If it was coming, there was no way to prevent it. If it didn't happen tonight, it would have happened the next time he got badly upset. I'm sorry it happened the way he did, but you gotta be grateful we caught him in time and we got him here in time. We were there.
I keep seeing him come in the door at the houseboat. Ashamed of me. And then I see him now. He's so helpless. My father.
Oh, honey. I love you. Honey?
I love you.
Not the same now, is it?
Oh, I don't love you any less. Just we were wrong, and we didn't want to hurt anybody, but we were wrong at our own world. Just for today. It's a nice dream.
It was real.
Was it?
I don't know. Look, we can start all over again. Your father can pull through this. He will, and we're going to figure it all out. Look, it's late, honey.
Yes.
Tomorrow, we'll go home, we'll talk. We're going to be all right.
Pat,
Excuse me, Miss Feldman. They're moving your father to a room now. You can see him for a moment if you'd like.
yes, thank you.
Dave, they're moving you upstairs. You'll feel better in a nice bed. You'll get well, and you'll come home. We'll be together, you'll see. Nancy is here to say goodnight.
Daddy, we're going home now. I'm going home with Mama. Do you understand? We're going home. Good night, Daddy. I love you.
Sleep well, darling. We'll be back in the morning. Nurse, take good care of him. Good night, Patrick.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
He looks very bad. I'm sure they'll operate. I think Dr. Coleridge already decided.
Mama, let's wait until he finishes the examination. Come on, let's go for coffee.
No, I better stay right here. He said I would have to sign the permission paper right away.
Okay.
No, but darling, you go. There's no sense in the two of us waiting on pins and needles. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
I'm so sorry about your father.
How is he?
Not too good. Excuse me.
Are you going to look for Patty?
No, I was going for coffee, Delia.
Oh, well, the coffee machine's this way. That way's the staff lounge, so I figured you were looking for Patty. What kind of stroke is it exactly?
The kind that may require surgery?
I guess he can't move much.
No.
Can he talk?
Yes.
Very much?
No, very little. And I'm afraid that's all I've got for your gossip column this morning.
What do you mean, gossip?
I mean, I'm not a fool. And I have talked with Pat. I know you're the reason he had to tell his parents that we're living together. And I'm sure you'd love to hear all the juicy details about last night on the houseboat, but you won't get them from me.
Now listen, there's just one reason why I'm asking about your father, and it's not gossip. It so happens that he came into Ryan's last night very upset, which upset me. So naturally, when Roger got the call this
morning... Did you know where he was going when he left Ryan's?
Well, of course. I mean, he had your address.
The same address you wanted for Irish night invitations. Are you still planning to send me one? Whatever happened to Irish night, Delia?
It got postponed. What are you saying to me anyway?
A couple of things, as long as we're into it. If you knew where Daddy was going, and you were so upset that he was upset, why didn't you try to call and warn us?
Call you on the houseboat.
Information has the number.
Well, I just didn't feel I had the right to butt into your and Patty's business.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe you.
Well, I didn't even know boats have phones. It never even occurred to me.
Okay, forget it. I shouldn't even be wasting my time with this.
No, I want you to say straight out what you mean. Are you accusing me of something?
I'm wondering. Wondering if you told my father where the houseboat is. Wondering if you sent him there after us.
Me? Me? Nancy, Dave came in with a piece of paper in his hand. Your address on the houseboat was on it. Now, I tried to calm him down. If he said anything else, it must be the stroke. You know, a person's mind.
Nancy. Nancy, I thought you were going for coffee, darling.
Oh, Mrs. Feldman, I'm so sorry about your husband. Oh, I'm Delia Coleridge.
Oh, yes,
You
I remember you. Yes. You were married to Frank Ryan.
Yeah.
We sat through a few of those dinners at the club together.
Right.
Yes. It's nice to see you again.
I'm married to one of Dave's doctors now, and I hope he is better real soon. Roger is a wonderful surgeon.
Mama, maybe you will change your mind and come with me after all? Delia will excuse us?
Oh, sure. I was just checking in. I was telling Nancy I couldn't stop thinking about Dave all day. I mean, last night he looked so healthy at Ryan's. I mean, upset, but strong, you know, and active.
Upset? He discussed that with you?
Well, no, but he mentioned Pat and the houseboat, so I put two and two together.
Oh, you did?
Well, I mean, everybody... I mean, so many people have noticed, Nancy, and... sorry.
Mama, the only person who has gossiped is Delia. Please don't listen.
If your father heard, he never told me anything about it. He went through this whole thing alone. Of course he got sick. No wonder. He gets a phone call and a stranger tells him that you're living with Patrick. He finds out that everyone knows.
Mama, that's not true. That is not the way it happened.
Mrs. Feldman, I'm sorry if I said the wrong thing.
No, dear, it's nothing that you said. It's just this waiting is very hard on me. Thank God for my girl. I could never see this time through without her.
Is it the decision about the surgery you're waiting for? Roger's decision?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is he in there now with Dave?
Yes.
Oh, well, maybe I'll just wait with you if that's okay.
No, it's not okay. Not now.
We appreciate your concern, Delia.
Oh, I am very concerned, deeply. So maybe I'll just wait over there. I have to talk to my husband anyway.
Well, we'll be consulting with him when he gets out.
Well, then I'll just hang around the nurse's station. Maeve's going to be here soon. She just went by the church to see about having a mass said for Dave.
Oh, what a lovely thing to do. Goodbye, then.
But I was going to...
You were going to give us our privacy. Oh, thank you so much. Something very comforting about the kindness of strangers. Have a good day.
Well, you too, if you can.
The elevator.
Under the circumstances, I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I'll be back.
How on earth did you do that?
Whatever problems we have, Nancy, it's nobody's business but ours.
You know, you really are quite wonderful.
Mrs. Feldman, I just examined him and talked with the radiologist again. Surgery is definitely in order.
Can you give us some details? What will you have to do?
We have to locate the aneurysm in the left anterior cerebral artery and tie it off. Well, it's a very neat and clean procedure, going in the left side near the temple, lateral to the eyes. Now, if everything goes well, he won't even have a scar.
What are the chances of everything going well?
Well, I have to tell you, it's a very serious situation, more so than they thought in the emergency. But I'd say he has an even chance.
What does that mean? Good, fair, what?
It means about 50-50. Now, we're going to take him down right away, so please, try and relax. He's in good hands.
Thank you.
So glad to see you.
Me too.
Have you heard anything?
Father's still in surgery, that's all I know.
Oh. Is he gonna be okay, Pat?
I hope so. Nan, I'm sorry.
It's just hard.
Hard not to feel responsible.
Hard to be responsible. But I have to. I love you so much. But I don't see how we can go on after this.
There'll be a way.
I want to. I want to live with you. I want everything to be the way it was.
Oh, honey, that makes two of us, so we're gonna work it out.
Our being together brought this on my father.
Nancy, you know that your father had a weakened blood vessel. It was bound to rupture with any kind of excitement. Besides, you know you can't live your life on the basis of what your parents want.
Mama she was so glad to have me home. It made Daddy easier, too. I mean, he couldn't talk, but I could see it.
Saying you're gonna stay at home?
Pat, it isn't what I want.
Good. It's not what I want either.
I'm so mixed up. My old room didn't feel right. My bed wasn't where I belonged.
Because you belong with me.
Yes. Only I don't know if we can have that anymore.
Have you heard anything?
Yeah, just spoke with Roger. Dave came through the surgery, and he's in recovery right now.
Oh, thank God.
Does that mean he's going to be all right?
Well, it means that things are going to be better than they were. You see, they tied the bleeder off successfully, but, well, we still don't know what kind of recovery he's going to make.
Well, he's alive, and there's a chance.
Yeah, and a very good one, too.
Your mother must be so relieved.
Oh, she is. I only saw her for a few moments, but she's like a different person. She's determined that he's going to be well.
He will, I'm sure of it.
Well, we were on our way to recovery, but we knew you were waiting, so
Oh, well, that's very sweet and thoughtful of you, Nancy. I know that you must be a great comfort to your mother.
Trying. My aunt's coming in next week, so that'll help.
Yes, well, it's a fine thing when the family rallies round.
It's all we can do.
Patrick, what are your plans, dear? Do you want me to get your room ready at home?
Ma, I'm gonna live on the houseboat, I think.
We've been thinking, and I've decided that until my father's out of danger and my aunt arrives, I'm gonna live at home.
I see.
And then I'm gonna
If
go back to the houseboat.
Oh.
If it's difficult for you to understand, Ma,
Well,
I
Patrick,
realize
you don't
that-
have to make any explanations to me.
Are you gonna tell Dave?
Oh, Dee, please, leave us alone.
I only asked.
You're trying to say that we're not concerned for my father,
No,
then
wait,
I think that you have no...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad. I just thought with Dave so
Dee,
sick.
nobody asked for your thoughts, though, you see. So I just think the situation is much more complicated than you realize.
You both are so sensitive.
David did not mean any harm.
I know, she never does. But look, never mind. Nancy's got to get down to see her mother.
Well, it's very sweet of you to come by, dear.
Oh, sweet of you to wait so long.
Oh, well, John and I and Francis. And we were all very devoted to your father.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Frank. It's Nancy.
Nancy, how's Dave?
Well, he looks terrible, and they're not letting him talk, but he's beginning to recognize people.
Well, would it do any good if I came over?
I think he'd like that, yes.
Okay. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Thanks.
Okay.
Nancy? Hi. How's your dad? Well, he just came out of surgery, which I think went all right. Seneca's in there with him now.
Ah, he's going to come out with a good report. You mind if I sit? Dave's
don't-
very special to me.
I don't mind. Could use a company.
Nancy,
Yes.
would you mind if I ventured an unsolicited opinion?
Of course not.
You and Pat mustn't blame yourselves for what happened.
Thank you.
I mean it.
We're trying not to. We're planning to be together when Daddy gets a little better, assuming he is going to get better.
Your father's doing every bit as well as can be expected, Nancy.
What does that mean? Is he going to talk again?
Well, definitely. But, well, how well,
You're saying that we're just going to have to wait and see.
for now. But be optimistic, Nancy. He needs everyone around him feeling that he's going to make a full recovery. You can go in and see him if you want.
Thank you.
Oh, Nancy. Darling, Nancy's here. I suppose you can go in now.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, sure. Well, why don't we say, the meeting for 2 o'clock the following afternoon? If that's okay with you. If you can reschedule, maybe.
Thank you.
Nancy, how about a sandwich and a cup of coffee? My treat.
Great.
Excuse us.
Get it.
Fine.
No, I mean, forget about it. Just find Bernie fast.
I don't know where he is.
Nancy! I don't hate him or something. Hello, Nancy.
Hello, Delia.
How's your father doing now?
He's a little better, thank you.
Yeah, Roger was telling me about the surgery. He said it went really well. I'm glad, you know. Well,
Well, excuse me, I was just about to go.
well, wait a second. You can't.
Why not?
Well, isn't the rabbi in there? Isn't it supposed to be private or something, like confession?
No, Delia.
But Nancy,
Delia.
I just remembered. See, Roger wanted to talk to you about your father's condition.
Something wrong?
You better talk to him.
I can't find him.
I told Nancy that you wanted to talk to her about Dave's condition, you know?
What? Is everything all right?
Yes. Everything's fine. I just wanted you to know that it looks like your father won't come through it with any lasting effects. We're not 100% sure yet, but from this standpoint, it looks like a good recovery.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
I lost my purse.
Delia.
Oh. How lucky.
Well, excuse me, I was just going in.
Dr. Marks! Oh, Nancy, listen, there's somebody I want you
Nancy!
Oh, Bernie. When did you get here?
I just started this morning. Hey, I'm sorry to hear about your father.
Thank you.
I stopped in to see him before. I hear the surgery was a big success.
Yes.
Well, I'll keep an eye on him while he's here.
Thank you. I was just about to go in.
Good. And give my love to your mother.
I'll do that.
I'll talk to you later,
All
okay?
right.
Bye-bye, honey.
Thanks a lot, Roger.
You have come through this surgery beautifully, David. You're going to be well.
He knows. He understands. Dave, Nancy came home with me last night. She was such a comfort. And you're going to come home soon, and we'll all be together again. Everything's going to be all right. We'll leave you alone for a few moments, Rabbi.
Thank you, Brian.
We'll just be outside. I think he looks much better, don't you?
Yes. I've got to make a phone call. I'll be right back, okay?
Are you going to call Patrick?
No, I was going to check in at the office. Actually, Pat's on duty today.
Nancy, is Patrick still living on that houseboat?
Yes. He wants to stay there.
And you?
Mama, please let's not get into a discussion about my living arrangements right now. I don't want to argue with you.
Do you think that's what's going to happen?
Could.
Sit down with me a minute.
Did you get any sleep last night?
Well, maybe a little, I don't know. I heard you moving around the apartment. It was late.
I'm okay.
It was so good to have you with me. And it was so nice to know that you were back home again. You're such a comfort to both of us. Now, Daddy can't tell you, but I know that he feels that way too.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about what happened last night. I was very upset, and I may have said some things that maybe I shouldn't have.
Mama, you don't have to apologize to me.
You're not to blame for what happened to your father. In my head, I know that you would never do anything in this whole world to hurt him in any way. And I'm sure that you thought that what you were doing was the right thing. Just have to give my heart a chance to catch up. You've given us such nachas, such joy. And I don't want you blaming yourself either.
Shouldn't have lied to you.
No, but that's in the past, so let's leave it there. The most important thing is that your father get well, and we all have to help. I don't want anything more to happen to him. We have to be very careful.
Are you talking about my moving back in with Pat?
I suppose I am. Have you given it any thought?
Yes.
And?
I don't know. Mama, I know that's not what you want to hear, but I don't want to lie to you anymore. I don't know.
You realize that your father is in a very serious situation right now.
Yes.
It's a terrible thing, a stroke. Any aggravation, any worry.
Mama, please.
I didn't mean to sound like one of those Jewish mothers that everybody talks about. And I don't mean to make you feel guilty. It isn't that. It's just that it's the two of you are everything to me. You're my life. And I love you very much. And I don't want to lose him.
I love you too.
I know.
And I don't want to hurt either one of you. But I love Pat too. And I feel like you're making me make a choice between you.
No, it's not just for Daddy and me, but for you. I mean, you must know what I'm saying is true. You told me yourself that there's no future with Patrick.
Let me try to tell you how I'm feeling. When I think of being without him, I'm scared. I don't think I can give him up. Not yet.
When?
I understand that this is difficult for you to accept. Pat Ryan isn't the man that you and Daddy imagined for me. I know the man you choose so well.
Who is he?
Somebody who probably doesn't even exist.
Tell me.
Well, he's kind and intelligent. Preferably a doctor, although a lawyer would be okay. He's a mensch, and he knows what the word means. He's cultured and handsome. Well, he plays squash in the afternoon and chamber music at night. Wouldn't hurt if he was rich, but wouldn't matter as long as he loved me. And did I mention that he's Jewish?
I see you've been thinking about him too.
Sure I have.
So maybe he does exist. So, where shall we find him?
Mom. I'm glad you've got this room.
I'm glad you're in it.
Do you think the security guards still believe I'm your sister?
Well, either they do or they're on our side. When's your Aunt Sophie coming?
Well, she'll be here in a day or two. It'll be very good for Mama. They were always very close.
I hope you come back to the houseboat then. Will you?
Oh, I want to.
And?
And I'm scared. It was so nice when we believed that we could just shut the world out and what we did was our own business. But the truth is, the choices you make do affect other people. People you love do love you.
I love you, Nancy.
I love you. And I want to be with you. And I'm not sorry we moved in together. What we did wrong was to lie about it.
You were just trying to protect your folks, that's all.
Well, I guess you don't protect people by hiding the truth from them. They just find out in the worst way possible. Then, you know, I don't think it was our living together that upset him so much as my lying.
We won't lie anymore.
No, that's right. Only, Pat, we can't be together right away. I'd have to wait until Daddy's better and I can tell him. Not that he's going to approve or even understand. But I've got to tell him what I'm doing.
Yeah, all right. I feel more comfortable with that, too. Hey, I bet you're hungry.
I bet you're right.
So am I. Also low on cash. How would you feel about going to Ryan's?
Oh.
Ma said you shouldn't be such a stranger. She meant that. Come on, Nan. You're not afraid to face her.
Only terrified.
Excuse me. Hello there, darling.
Hi.
How are you, Nancy? How's your dad?
Oh, he's much better, thanks. Hi,
Nancy,
everybody.
Pat, why don't you meet an old friend, Joe Novak. Joe, this is Nancy Feldman.
Hi.
My brother-in-law, Pat Ryan.
Hi, how are you?
Joe is responsible for the special fish dinner this evening.
Yes, and I hope you'll stay. We have enough for an army.
We'd like to, but we better raid the refrigerator and run. I'm on duty tonight.
All right, come inside. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that I have to get back to see Daddy.
Oh, all right. Well, come. I'll fix you something back. I'm glad you came by. I really am. I've been wanting to talk to both of you. And I'm glad it's taken place here in my kitchen, because I seem to be able to collect my thoughts best in here. Sit down, darling. You must look to be exhausted.
You have that in common with Mama. She always says she feels more secure in her own kitchen.
Patrick, would you get the bread? Yes, I have a lot in common with your mother, dear.
You, both love your kids and worry about them.
Yes. What's more important? I feel it's important to keep the lines of communication open between us all, even if my children and I don't agree.
Pat and I were just talking about that earlier. We think that the biggest mistake we made was not telling you and Johnny or my parents that we were living together.
Well, it's probably why you're being so frank about it now. You really are intending to move back to the houseboat together, eh?
Yes. Well, we do care what you think. We'd like to make the decision that makes you happy, but...
Patrick, you know, when you were little, I tried to teach you not to hide your feelings, but at the same time to have some kind of perspective about it. We can't help how we feel, but what we do about it and how it affects other people, well, that's just, you know, that's a different matter. The two of you talk about living for now. I wonder, I mean, have you learned that's not so simple?
Are you telling us that we're responsible for what happened to Dave?
No, darling. I told you that night that you weren't to blame. I mean, who could tell what would have happened to Dave when he got so upset?
But you're saying that we know now.
Darling, all I'm doing is expressing my own particular reservations about the two of you going back to that living arrangement. I'm not just speaking for the people that are going to be affected by it, but for yourselves. I mean, regrets and consequences. I mean, they can destroy the most beautiful memories.
Ma,
We know what you're saying, and we don't want to hurt anybody. That's why we're trying to be open now. And as soon as Daddy's better, I'm going to tell him that I'm moving back to the houseboat. We don't ever want to give him that kind of shock again.
Nancy, dear, if you tell your father the same news, isn't he going to feel the same pain?
He's finally asleep. I think he looks a little better today, don't you? Mama? What's wrong?
There seem to be some things we haven't discussed. I'd like to talk about them now.
Of course.
Your Aunt Sophie will be arriving in a few days.
Yes?
I'd like to know, when she gets here, I'd like to know what your plans are.
Mom, it's late. We're
Nancy,
both
please
tired.
don't do that to me. Don't try to protect me. Tell me what your plans are.
I get the feeling you already know.
I want to hear it from you.
I've been thinking about moving back to the houseboat with Pat.
The other day when I asked you, you said you didn't know. Do you know now?
Yes. We are going to be together. I am going to go back to the houseboat.
Why?
Mama, I'm not going to leave until Daddy's better. I won't leave you.
When did you decide this?
Today, I didn't want to upset you. I wanted to find the right moment.
The right moment? The right moment, Nancy. When do you think that would be? I'm not going to talk to you about right and wrong. You're an adult and you have to make your own decisions. But it also means that you have to assume the responsibilities of your actions. You were afraid to tell me.
Maybe.
Of course. Because you knew what I would say and you didn't want to hear it. How could you even think of doing that to your father? The man is sick. He needs rest and reassurance. No, Nancy, I'm not blaming you. It's not your fault. Although maybe at first I did, but I was wrong to think that way. I understand that if a stroke is coming, no one can prevent it, but it did happen. Your father is in a very dangerous position. How do you think he's going to take it when he finds out where you live? What am I supposed to tell him when he asks?
You're not supposed to tell him anything. I'm not going to go behind his back. When he's well and when I think he can take it, I plan to tell him myself.
You will not tell him.
Mama.
No, Nancy, I won't let you do that to him.
You all right?
Go on.
I love Daddy. And I love you. And I would never do anything to hurt either one of you. But you've always trusted me. And you taught me that I have to live my own life. Well, I can't let go of that. Not now. I won't. When Pat and I first got involved, we knew the problems. I thought a lot before we moved in together. And I thought about you and Daddy, and it hurt me to know how you'd feel if you found out. But I love Pat and... How do I explain? What do I say? Maybe I can't explain.
I believe that you really think what you're doing is right.
Thank you.
Nancy, don't pull from me. I believe you. It's just that I don't understand.
I love Pat.
No, but you told me yourself that there was no future with Patrick. Is it still the same?
I don't know. We thought we'd be able to stop. We thought we'd be able to let each other go. But every day it gets harder. You said that would happen. You were right. I don't know what's going to happen to us.
You're confused.
It's just that all of a sudden there's so many choices.
No. Only one.
I promise you that I will search my heart before I reach any decisions. But that's no guarantee that the answer will be the one that you think is right. Only that it'll be the right one for me.
Visual field test, slit lamp test, follow-up EKG, CAT scan, blood workup, but that's just a pinprick, and spinal tap.
Which is certainly not a pinprick. Good morning, Daddy. I'm Nancy Feldman, and you're...
Dr. Cohen, how do you do? Your father's doing beautifully.
Yes, so Dr. Bolak says. Did he order all those tests?
No, I did. If you'll take his blood pressure, I'll be right back. Any of those tests you want to skip?
I guess not.
Good.
What's your name?
Cohen. Adam Cohen.
Daddy, I'll be back when she's through. Dr. Cohen.
Yes.
My father's been through every battery of tests this hospital knows how to give. What's going on?
Nothing. I was just assigned to him, and I'm very thorough. Please don't let it worry you.
You'd put him through a spinal tap just because you're thorough?
Yes. I asked his permission.
He's in no condition to evaluate or make judgments about his treatment. He's just been through a stroke. He's upset.
Responsive, alert. He talks fairly well. It's a mistake to assume that his intelligence is impaired. Simply
I
isn't.
assume nothing of the sort. His mind is as fine as ever. All I'm trying to do is save him from any unnecessary hurt or risk. Now, a spinal tap is not a simple procedure.
I assure you, your father will be in no danger.
Well, at the very least, he'll be exhausted. Now, may I ask why all of a sudden you're involved? Dr. Coleridge and Dr. Bolak are assigned to my father's case.
Dr. Coleridge assigned me to the case.
Well,
and if
then
it's any
why is-
assurance to you, I've done hundreds of spinal taps in my private research.
Please do not do any private research on my father.
Look, Miss Feldman, I am simply a neurologist taking proper care of my patient. And in that respect, I would appreciate if you would not communicate your anxiety to your father. Better no visitors than someone who riles him up.
No visitors. That's not an order or anything.
No. You misunderstood me.
I would appreciate it if you would hold off on all those tests.
Why?
So I have a chance to talk to my mother and Dr. Coleridge and find out if they approve of your duplicating so much effort.
Do so, by all means.
And in the meantime, just hold off on everything else, all right?
In the meantime, I will do my job as prescribed by Dr. Coleridge. Talk to anyone you like, and please, feel free to bring any questions back to me. Excuse me.
I want you to hold off on those tests, Doctor. All of them. Would you please find Dr. Roger Coleridge? Roger.
Hello, Nancy. What's wrong?
I've just had the most infuriating run-in. Maybe I better start from the beginning. Would you please tell me, who is Dr. Adam Cohen?
Well, Dr. Cohen is a first-year resident in neurology, newly arrived with all the best credentials.
And he's assigned to my father's case?
Yes. By me. Why?
Does my father have any complications we haven't been told about?
Well, quite the contrary. You and your mother have been kept particularly well informed.
So no extra treatment is necessary.
Nancy, maybe you better tell me what's on your mind.
Dr. Cohen has been in there going over my father from head to toe and ordering repeats on all the tests that have already been done. And a spinal tap included. Apart from the fact that I don't see why they're necessary, especially if complications aren't a problem, I don't like his attitude, which I would describe as brusque, arrogant, and opinionated.
Has your father complained?
No, he seems to like him.
I'm glad to hear that. Look, Nancy, at the worst, Dr. Cohen is just being a little overzealous. But don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him.
But what about the tests? I mean, some of those are very uncomfortable.
Well, they can also be very helpful, and they're certainly not going to harm your father. Look, on the other hand, if you're sufficiently upset and you want Dr. Cohen off the case...
Well, if he's not hurting Daddy.
Look, he might be doing your father some good.
Then I won't interfere. Despite the fact that I don't like him personally.
Father's not in there, Miss Feldman.
He isn't, Dr. Cohen. May I ask where he is?
He's downstairs having a spinal tap.
I specifically asked you not to go ahead with those tests until I had a chance to talk to Dr. Coleridge and my mother.
Yes, and I'm sorry, Miss Feldman, but my instructions were to look after your father as best I could, and that's what I'm doing.
He doesn't need all those tests.
It's my opinion that those tests are necessary, otherwise I wouldn't have ordered them.
Obviously.
Miss Feldman, You and your mother have spent a lot of time at the hospital lately.
Oh, we're worried about my father.
Of course. But since your father isn't due back in his room until late this afternoon, may I suggest that you find your mother and take her out for a while? Some lunch, a nice little walk in the sun might do good for you both.
I would appreciate that suggestion, Dr. Cohen, if it hadn't been delivered in such a patronizing tone.
I was trying to be polite.
You didn't succeed.
Look, this hospital is doing everything it can for your father.
I appreciate that.
I don't see the slightest sign that you do.
Possibly because I reserve my thanks for Dr. Coleridge and the rest of the staff people who saved my father's life and who do more than try to be polite.
If you enjoy sitting in the waiting area, you're perfectly welcome. I have to go back to my patients, if you'll excuse me.
With pleasure.
That is mutual.
I'll wait. Oh, I know what a sweetheart Mr. Feldman is. Did my husband tell you what he just said tonight? It was so dear. He says his daughter is his most favorite visitor because she lifts his spirit and makes him forget all the pain he's been through. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, hi, Nancy. Hello, Delia. Coming to see Dave? Yes. And you? Oh, just waiting for Roger. I was going to stop in and say hello, but since you're here, I wouldn't dream of intruding. I know how he enjoys your visits.
Would you page Dr. Ryan for me?
Oh, Patty's in surgery.
Well, if he asks for me, would you please tell him that I'll spend the evening with my father?
I'd be glad to.
Thanks.
Bye, Nance. Give my love to your dad.
Aunt Sophie refused to budge tonight. She said she was tired of eating out, and why didn't they just throw something together for dinner? So they are there cooking their little hearts out. So we get a chance to be alone.
Where is Patrick?
On duty somewhere, working hard.
Are you still...
Daddy, all that's fine. I'm with you now. So let's not worry about that, okay? Look, I brought you something.
Great Expectations.
Our old friend.
Thank you.
I know you're not up to reading it yet.
No.
So I thought I'd read it to you. Did it for me, remember? 3 times, cover to cover.
Hello. Adam, this is Nancy.
Yes, Daddy, we've met. Hello?
Hi. How you feeling? Any discomfort from the test this morning?
Not really.
Oh, good. Well, we only have one more, and we'll be able to do that tomorrow morning.
Another test?
Just a simple follow-up. Your dad will be in and out in no time.
A follow-up to some test he probably didn't need in the first place?
Nancy.
Enjoy your company. I'll check in on you later.
Thanks. Nancy. Why?
Daddy? What's wrong? Daddy? Daddy, it's all right. Daddy? You're not in pain, are you?
That young man.
Dr. Cohen, what did he do? Shall I get him?
You were very rude.
I'm sorry.
I'm all right. I can't help this.
Is it better now?
Yes. It's part of stroke. Silly.
Oh, it's not silly at all.
Dr. Cohen, Adam, explained it to me. my emotions off balance.
I didn't realize. So you can get upset easily, huh? Well, I guess that's nothing to worry about.
Right.
Look, I don't like Dr. Cohen poking around at you if it's not necessary. Maybe I've gone too far. I'm the one who got too easily upset.
He helps me. I like him.
Okay, Daddy. Then I do too. I'll apologize to him, I promise.
Thank you. Now, read. Wonderful idea. With feeling.
My father's family name being Pirrup, and my Christian name Philip, my infant tongue could make of both names nothing longer or more explicit than Pip. That was a memorable day so, for it made I called myself Pip. But it is the same with any life. Imagine one selected day struck out of it, and think for a moment of the long chain of iron or gold, of thorns or flowers that would never have bound you, but for the formation of the first link on one memorable day.
Oh, you mind if I come in?
Adam, please, come in.
Well, I see you decided to stay.
Sure, we got into our book here.
Great expectations.
Well, I can see it's very good medicine for you, but turn in soon, okay?
You can turn in right this minute. I will see you tomorrow. Dr. Cohen, could I talk to you for a minute outside?
Certainly. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Good girl.
Look, it's about the test tomorrow morning.
It isn't. I'm sorry about the way I've been acting towards you. I apologize.
Well, you don't have to, I understand.
I've been a little less than civil. You see, I thought you were using my father as some sort of guinea pig, and I was wrong. He likes you a lot.
Well, look, I guess I've had some mistaken notions about you, too. I'll accept your apology if you'll accept mine. Friends?
Okay. Goodbye.
And Miss Feldman, I think it's really terrific that you spent the whole evening with your father.
I enjoyed it.
Yes, I'm just saying that you made a choice I happen to like.